They have this like unbreakable love that is unbreakable that you just can't. That was silly. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Sarah. We are back at the bookshelf and I am quite happy because my collection is growing. I already have a full shelf if you can't see it, but down here I only have one more shelf to fill up on this bookshelf, one more like square to fill up on there, and then a couple more on here. And what's cool is that with this little bookshelf, we actually made it double layered. So we have two layers of books back here. It is already November, which is so insane to me. I don't know how it's already November, but it is. It is time to do our second to last TBR jar of the entire 2023. I have been loving doing this. I think I only started it maybe like a few months ago, but I have really been loving using these little prompts to choose my TBR. I definitely want to keep with the gamifying putting my TBR together thing, but I think I might try something else out. Like I've been seeing like a TBR board game going around, which seems like a lot of work at first, but it could be fun and it could be worth it. So maybe we'll do that. A few other little ideas that I've had running around my brain for how to pick our TBRs, do prompts and everything like that in 2024. So that might be one of the videos in December. I need to switch my glasses because the viewfinder is like being weird about those other glasses. We are going to pick our TBR. I think we're gonna do 7 books because in October, I think I read like 6 books. I've just been in such a reading mood lately. I feel like I've been loving reading fantasy for October. I don't think I really have like a mood that I want to be in for our November TBR. It could really be anything. We are going to pick 7, lucky number 7, Harry Potter, if you know you know, and let's see what we get. First is green. Okay, a young adult fantasy. Perfect. I've been being surprised that a lot of young adult fantasies, a lot of fantasies that I have are actually young adult fantasies, but I know the exact one that I'm looking at that I really want to pick. The Assassin's Blade by Sarah J. Maas. I'm pretty sure this is a young adult book by the same author who wrote A Court of Thorns and Roses. I'm still missing one book, but the same author who wrote the ACOTAR series, and I loved the ACOTAR series. I have been hearing a lot about this one. This was her first book series, I think, that she ever wrote. She started writing when she was like 16 or something. I am very excited to start it out. I know there have been a lot of debate online whether you should start out this series with Throne of Glass or The Assassin's Blade. So I don't know which one I'm going to start out with. I have to do more research to see which one I like the most. But for right now, I'm just going to choose Assassin's Blade because it says it's a prequel. Like if you look up the series online, it says that this is book 0.5 and this is book Throne of Glass is book 1. So it just makes me feel like I should be reading this first. We are going to add The Assassin's Blade to our TBR for November for a young adult fantasy. I know I've been trying to like get through series, and that's like a huge series that I'm gonna start 2 months before the year ends, but we'll just see what we can do. Next we have Pink, a book with a 1-word title. Interesting. I don't know any books with a 1-word title off the top of my head. Oh, we have Caraval, we have Wretched, we have Ghosted. Okay, those are some good ones. Oh, is this gonna be a month of starting new series? Because I keep on getting drawn to Caraval. This is by Stephanie Garber. This is the first book in the Caraval trilogy, which is the like sort of prequel trilogy to the Once Upon a Broken Heart trilogy, which the third book, A Curse for True Love, just came out in the Once Upon a Broken Heart trilogy, and it's just been getting so much, I guess, review time lately. People have had mixed reviews on A Curse for True Love, but everyone's loved the Once Upon a Broken Heart trilogy, like overall. And I don't think you have to read the Caraval trilogy to read the Once Upon a Broken Heart trilogy, but I think it's better if you do. So I've been really wanting to pick this book up. I just don't know when the right time would be, but I feel like that is the perfect prompt to start Caraval. This book is a fantasy. It's like a circus, but there's a game involved in the circus, and there's these 2 girls, and one of them gets taken, and the game of that year is to find the girl that gets taken. I think it's like the main character's sister or the main character's friend, something like that. she gets taken, so the main character, Scarlet, decides to embark on the Caraval adventure this year so she can find her sister or friend. And, you know, of course, there's like magical fantasy elements to it. And it just seems like it would be a fun little magical world to get lost in. We are gonna add Caraval for our one-word title. We have another green one, a book with a pretty cover. Love that for us. I honestly only get books that have pretty covers. I think the world is just wide open for this one. I'm feeling like a romance now because we have 2 fantasy, which is perfect, but I am feeling like a little romance. And this book has been on my TBR for so long. I think I just hyped it up so much in my head because I've loved the other books and I've just loved the series that I've just been scared to pick it up. But lately I've been like itching to pick it up and waiting for the right time again, just like Caraval. So this is the perfect time. We're gonna go with Magnolia Park's Long Way Home. I think I did some sort of tag video or something that said like show us the prettiest book cover you own, and I use this cover because look how gorgeous this book cover is. It is beautiful. And Jessa Hastings is coming out with Never, which is like a Peter Pan retelling, I think in December, and I have that pre-ordered already. So I really want to get through like Magnolia Park's universe before that comes out. And this book is just so pretty, and I know I'm gonna fall in love with it. I know I'm gonna be obsessed with it, but I think I've built it up so much in my head that I've been scared to pick it up. So we're gonna do it. We're gonna add it to this month's TBR and pick it up. I don't want to say too much about what it's about. It's basically like a love story, but it's a very, like, you're not really rooting for the main characters. They're very flawed characters. They keep on hurting each other, but they have this love that is just unbreakable. It's just them trying to always get back to each other, but they keep on hurting each other. And it's so heartbreaking and so beautiful, the story of Magnolia and BJ. So this is the second book in their story. We're gonna add this one to our TBR. All right, what's next? We got 2, so we're gonna use these 2. A book with a number in the title. I don't quite know off the top of my head any books with a number in the title. Found 1, 2. These are the only 2 books that I have that have a number in the title that I have not read yet. We have One Dark Window and One True Loves. And I think I am just so drawn to One Dark Window. This is like a romance, and I love Taylor Jenkins Reid, and I'm sure it's gonna be such a good book, but I'm just not in the mood for like a summery romance. So we're gonna go with One Dark Window, which is another fantasy. I guess I am in the mood for fantasy this month as well. But it also has this really pretty foiling on the cover with that gold on the edges. It's gorgeous. I actually just got in my last bookstore vlog, which I'll link here if you want to go watch that. Basically, the magic system are these cards. So every chapter starts with a new card, and I think it's like to right things that are going wrong in the world, you have to collect all the cards, and then I guess you gain more power the more cards you have or something. I just know the magic system is based on cards, and that just seemed like such an interesting idea to me. And it's also very like dark fantasy vibes, which I feel like is perfect for November going into December. Her name is Elspeth. Elspeth is her first name. Elspeth needs a monster. The monster might be her. Very good, very intriguing. We are definitely gonna add this one. Next is a book that starts with a random letter. So for this, we're gonna use my phone, which I have to look at, I do not have it. We're gonna go on a random letter generator. You see a note that I'm recording a book video because it's coming up on my Google page. And also Outer Banks season 4 is coming. Okay, off topic. Anyway, letter generator. Alright, let's see what our random letter is. X? I have no books that start with the letter X. What? Are there even any books in existence that start with the letter X? No, I'm not even gonna look on Kindle because I feel like there are no books that start with the letter X. So we're just gonna spin again. Z. What in the world? No, I have no books that start with the letter Z either. What are these letter choices? Okay, let's spin again. Okay, N. N I feel like is workable. Huh, maybe not. No, we're picking another one. We're picking another one. This is gonna take forever. Q, are you kidding me? Next. L. Okay. L feels like it's gonna be okay. Okay, we found one. We found one. Finally, we have Love Theoretically. That starts with the letter L. That took forever. This book is by Ali Hazelwood. It was super popular a few months ago and I never got around to reading it. It's a romance about Elsie is a professor, and then I think she takes up a side job of being a hired girlfriend or something. And then her favorite client, his older brother, is her like academic rival. So that is where that romance buds. Fake dating older brother, I guess. Which is interesting, but everyone loves Ali Hazelwood, and I have seen some quotes in here that just like made my mouth drop open. I am just going to add this one to our tally. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 2 more to pick. All right, let's see. We got these 2, a yellow and a pink. A book published after 2015. That should be quite easy because I feel like a lot of my books have been published after 2015. Keep on looking at this book. When was this book published? 2022! Flawless by Elsie Silver. I am gonna add this one to our TBR. This is a cowboy romance. It is part of the Chestnut Spring series. If you have heard about the Chestnut Spring series, it is super, super popular here on like BookTube and BookTok. Everyone says that they love the way that Elsie Silver writes romances. They loved Flawless, and it just gives all the good cowboy romance vibes, and I've been wanting to get into this series. I have the other 3 books in the series waiting for me. I just have to get Hopeless, which is the book that just came out, and then I'll have the completed series. So we are going to add Flawless onto our TBR, and then last we have our yellow one. My memory card ran out of space, but the yellow one we got is a genre you don't usually read, which is interesting because I feel like the first genre that comes to my mind is literary fiction. I don't usually read literary fiction books or sci-fi. Actually, let's do this. I never read a sci-fi book, and that is what this Red Rising is. Red Rising is a sci-fi book by Pierce Brown. I have never read a sci-fi book, and apparently Pierce Brown is a very famous sci-fi writer. I am very eager to get into this genre and just see how I like it, because I feel like it's almost like fantasy, which is my favorite genre. Like, that's my comfort genre. So I feel like sci-fi is almost like fantasy, but it has, I guess, more scientific elements to it. I'm not sure. I'm excited. We're gonna pick Red Rising. And that completes our TBR for October. I am so excited. These are some good books. Let me show you without dropping them all, hopefully. This is our TBR for November, and I am so excited. It looks like such a good TBR, and I know I've said that for my last TBR, and I read like 2 books off my October TBR. But this one I really feel like I'm gonna read off of because got some really good prompts this month around. So just to review, Red Rising for a genre that you don't usually read. The sci-fi genre I never read. Flawless, a book that was published after 2015. Love Theoretically for a book that starts with a random letter that we finally got to after doing several random letters. We got letter L. So we have Love Theoretically. One Dark Window for a book with a number in the title. This one looks super good. I'm so excited for this one. Magnolia Park's Long Way Home. A book with a pretty cover because I mean, come on, really look at this cover. It is beautiful. Caraval for a book with a 1-word title. The Assassin's Blade for a young adult fantasy, which is a whole other series that I know is gonna take me so long to read through, and I'm already in between so many series, but I am just so excited. I want to start it, so I'm gonna start it. That concludes the lineup for our November TBR, and I am super excited to read all these books. And I'm sure, I say this every time, but I'm sure they will be in videos, and stay tuned for those if you're interested in me seeing me read any of these books. And thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time. Bye.